Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Today, we got a topic. It's probably going to ruffle some feathers for a couple of people. And so we're going to be covering a world record watch, right? So, in recent history, due to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson-Herah, I would say that a lot of people think that the world record can go down in the women's 100. That's what I'm focusing on today. I'm not really too concerned about the 200. I think there's only two athletes that we think may be able to get that. But at this point, people are chasing, whether you take the record seriously or not, they chasing FloJo, Florence Griffith Joyner, right? They are chasing her down. And so many people, when they were trying to down talk Allison Felix and talk up Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I don't even know why they were even doing this. They said, where are her records, world records? She hasn't even broken FloJo's record. And then somebody correctly said after that, nobody else has. So that was weird. That's so weird. See, that's when you know somebody doesn't care. They just in their emotions. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce at the time of this recording on September 15th, 2021. Nobody has gotten those records. So I think you can still be a great athlete without having to have broken the record. Because at some point, the records are just going to be untouchable. It's just going to happen. But anyway, they're chasing FloJo, right? They're chasing that good old American flag, right? Whoever gets it might get the world, Olympic, and American record. Oh, wait a minute. They'll get the world record. And if they do it at the Olympics, it'll be an Olympic record. Maybe it's at the World Championship, too. So, who knows? It might happen at the World Championships, and then that becomes a World Championship record. But we'll see. But like I said, today's topic is who is likely to get the world record in the next, let's say, 2 to 3 seasons. I say that's there. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is approaching a time where she's getting ready to retire. She thought about extending her season to 2024. That's going to be a separate video there about whether she's going to do that or not and everything like that. So obviously we got Richardson on here. Some people are going to be upset about the party that's about to go down. But we got to really mention her because, hey, if you can do some good one-off races, right? Because she does do some good one-off races. And if she can run early in the season, that doesn't take away from her ability to run fast. All right? I got to be fair here. Oh, yeah, don't forget to check out the other videos that we got going on, like the Briana Williams video is titled, Is Briana Williams in brackets too slow, right? Is she too slow? Because a lot of people are complaining about her, and that's why I even made that video. I made it off of the comments. It's not even talking to me, my personal feelings about it. I think she's doing just fine. But then would Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce be paid more as an American? I think people just completely missed the whole point of that video. But anyway, listen to that video. Check that out if you haven't already. And don't forget to kiss the diamond and subscribe, like, comment, and share if you haven't already done so. Now, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic right now, we got a black screen. What the heck is going on? And so here we go. Now the screen is here. Now look, here's the women's 100. Now there are other athletes I would have liked to include in this. Maybe we include Dina Asher-Smith. She's a lot farther away from the world record than someone like a Shericka Jackson. And some people, you're going to be questioning why I even put Shericka Jackson in there, or I put Briana Williams in there because Briana Williams is slower than Dina Asher-Smith, and I didn't put her in the thumbnail. Look, if you're going to get your panties in a bunch about who I put in the thumbnail or not, then I don't know what to say to you, okay? I put the people that are in there because of some of what's been said about them, like Briana Williams is one of the people that's talked about for potentially getting the world record. And then that's why people are so upset that she isn't already in the 10-7s. I think they're comparing her to Richardson, in all honesty. That's what I think is happening. But I think she's doing just fine right now at the age that she's at. She's still U20. So I'm not thinking that everybody progresses at the same rate. It's just unreasonable. So, as we can see, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is 34 years old, and this is the first year that she broke 10.7. And now she's at 10.6, right? So, everybody doesn't progress at the same rate, but I'm just going to do this based on the metrics that I see. But anyway, here are all the athletes that we're going to talk about. First, let's go down to Briana Williams, right? Briana Williams. So what we're going to do is we're going to speculate based on their current times and what are the probability of them getting it now to maybe Paris, okay? Well, not now. This season is basically over. It's one more meet. If somebody does it, that's going to be crazy. But between next season and Paris 2024, right? So, Briana Williams, let's just look at her personal best right here. Actually, let's look at her progression. Now, remember, back in 2019, her times got wiped away because she had unintentionally ingested a substance that was banned. So she had actually ran a 1094, maybe it was a 1093, and she had the U18 and therefore the U18 record at the time. But that isn't on here. So for my purposes, I can understand that if it is an enhancer, then that time shouldn't account it, because then she'll get some kind of enhancement off of it or whatnot. She decided not to run Doha, even though they would have allowed her to do that, and she qualified for it. But she decided not to, because they said, hey, you're not banned, but your times are going to be wiped away. That's basically what it was. Now, here we go. Now, with that being said, her progression seems to be going in a good trajectory. She's every season except for, the lockdown season. And some people did get PRs during that year, which was surprising. And some people didn't. So other than the lockdown season, she's been getting steadily faster with a good progression. She went from 13.25, 12.09, 11.30, 11.13, 11.02, and she's 10.97 right now. So if we don't count that 1094 back in 2019, she's going in a pretty good, smooth trajectory. And so a lot of people are like, she's not getting fast enough. They're going to rage quit. But hey, look, I have already compared it to some of the greats within Jamaica and saw that they had reached their peaks typically between 23 and 25 years old. She's not even 20, okay? She's 19. She'll be 20 next March. Chill out, calm down, get you something to relax with, okay? Get you something to relax with. Just chill out. Now, let's go. Now, Briana Williams, do I think that she has a chance of getting this world record? At the current progression right now, I don't necessarily see it. Even looking at her 200 strength to pull over here, I don't think I see her coming into it by Paris. No. Now, she could have a big drop, because that's what happens with a lot of the athletes. They'll be hovering around about 11, sometimes 10.9 high, and then boom, the next thing you know, they have dropped it down and they get their times down to a 10.8 low, a 10.7 something. That's what I've seen in the past. So she could very well do that, but I can't see her going from where she's at now to getting a world record realistically. So let's go over to the next person, right? Let's go over to the next person. Now, some people will wonder why I'm not including TT Terry or other athletes. They don't necessarily show me that, like even Sturgis. Now, her time wasn't win legal, but if you adjusted it to a 2.0, and let me make a quick note here. For the people that say, well, if you adjust it to 0, well, we don't really adjust anything to 0, because guess what? If somebody runs a 1049 or lower, because 1049 will match the world record, or lower, it doesn't matter if the win reading is plus 2.0. At the end of the day, that person will be marked as the world record holder. We're not going to zero it in. The announcers, the meet officials aren't going to be like, well, technically, if this was a 2, it's 0.0, they wouldn't have broke the... No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I'm not zeroing in these marks here unless I'm doing a comparison about like, okay, she ran against the wind, so this will be a little bit faster. But other than that, I am not going to be doing it because anything that is 2.0 and lower counts as the world record. And we all know that. So when somebody barely ran over wind, whether it was Richardson, right? When she slowed down and then somebody adjusted it all the way to zero, like, no. We can adjust just the point whatever above it, and then we can say, well, if this was wind legal, this is what she would have likely run, right? Same thing with Sturgis. So Sturgis still with a wind legal time of 2.0 would be pretty quick, but because she isn't consistent with it, I'm not going to include her on this list, right? Blessing Okabare, let's look at her. I don't know if she's gonna be banned, how long she gonna be banned or anything like that, because it's still up in the air. I haven't seen any extra information on her, right? And then obviously she's gonna be getting close to retirement. But because she did do that wind assisted 1063, I still would say that with a wind legal time, she would have been under her PR, because her PR is 1079. She would have been under that. Will she be able to get it? Well, let's look at her progression here. The answer is, I'm going to shortcut it right now. No. I don't see Blessing Okabare. She runs, we call her the 5-foot giant here, because she runs as if she's a lot shorter than what she is. She's the tallest one in the field, and then she runs as if she's shorter. I think she needs to fix her stride. So we're going to be moving on. Natasha Morrison, nah, I don't see it. Dina Asher-Smith, let's look at this as a realistic progression. What is she, 25 or is she 26? Let's look at the age here. So she's 25 years old, be 26 at the end of the season. So she's still got some time to go. And with her getting an injury, she had almost gotten close at Zurich to her own personal best. Isn't that very interesting? So let's look at her progression right here. So we're going to look at the progression after 2012 at London, because we can see that her times are going down, even from 2009. Going down. She broke 11, right, in 2015. All right, congratulations to her. Then she's going a little bit up here, gets a new PR, gets another PR at Doha, good enough for her to medal, right? And then she's close to it this year after getting hurt. So what do I think is going to happen with her? I don't think she's going to get the world record, but I can definitely see her running in the 10.7s. I think anybody being honest here can see her running in the 10.7s, especially if she's able to come back after sustaining an injury after the British trials, and then come back, even though it must not have been, it's not an extremely serious injury, of course, but it still was an injury that inhibited her training. It inhibited her racing, as we saw what happened at Tokyo. And then she had to pull out of the 200 because it would aggravate it more. Hey, look, if it's between a 4x1 and an open 200 against a stacked field, well, you go by the 4x1, and hopefully you and your teammates can do something. And they set a British national record. So I don't see her particularly getting a world record, but I do see her going into the 10.7s. Now, let's move up on the list. Marie-Josée Ta Lou. Now, Tiana Daniels, let's do something here. I don't really necessarily, I don't know if I see that, but let's look at her progression here. Let's look at her progression and see if she's progressing more or less in the, I don't know, quote unquote, right direction. So we're looking here. Every season it looks to be she's getting faster, except for 2018. She broke 11 for the first time here. She came to the finals in Doha, and obviously she did not medal, but she made it to the World Championship final. She made it to the Tokyo Olympics final here. So, I mean, she's doing pretty good to make finals. 2020, like I said, I'm not really counting that for most people on their progression, because that was the lockdown year, and just so many people, they just weren't going to be running their best times. A few, like I said, but not many. Distance runners, yeah, there were world records going down that time. But here, a 1083. Again, remember, these are one-off races. One-off races are different than you going and me saying that they can win an Olympic title. they can win a world championship title. That is different. Keep that in mind right here, okay? Oh, yeah, and don't forget to smash that like button. So, 1083, can I see her going 10-7? Yeah. Will she be able to do it at a championship? I don't know. She hasn't necessarily shown that yet, but at least she made that breakthrough, right? And they're the 1083. So I'm at least happy for her there. I don't see her getting a world record. Marie-Josée Ta Lou, she's about the same age as Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. So what is she, 33? 32, so 2 years younger, just like Blessing. So here we go. Look, do I see her potentially getting it? She should have been getting in the 10-7s before this. In my opinion, I thought she should get that. I think she needs a little bit more strength work. And the way she was looking around at Tokyo, and then she was looking back, and she said she was just surprised, right? Well, I think that just tells us that she could have ran much faster because she turned almost all the way around. She looked around 3 times. Go watch that first round at Tokyo when she ran her 10-7-8. Now, obviously, in the semifinals, she was trying a lot harder. Face was scrunched up again. She was relaxed. If she can run relaxed, I can see her running a 10-7 low. And I think she should have been able to do this years past. Now, one thing I can say is she's very consistent. Look at her. At the London final, she ran her best time, 10:86. But London and Rio and on Doha's track. And then in Doha, right, that was a different stadium because they were constructing the Khalifa International Stadium. But, yeah, she runs about where her PR is, but it depends. Is she doing it in the final or is she doing it in the semifinal, right? Or is she doing it in the first round like this one, and then she came to semifinal 10:79, and then we saw what happened. So, can I see her doing it? No, I don't see her doing it, unfortunately. And the reason why I say unfortunately is because Ta Lou is a great athlete on the field and everything. I have really no negative words to say about her. So I would, if I had anybody to say for it, she would be one of the women that I would like to see get it, right? From a personal, like, hey, she's there, she's cool, she ain't bothering nobody, and she comes out, she does her thing, right? Shericka Jackson. Action Jackson. Let's go up on this list right here. Let's go up on this list right here with Shericka Jackson. All right, let me stop doing that. But Shericka Jackson, like I said, she always be making the funniest faces. So here we go. 27 years old. So she still got a little bit of time to go before she gets in the 30s. And if she does a progression where she keeps getting faster like this, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is setting the standard. I mean, Michael Johnson, he was almost 33. He was 32 in, I think, 8 or 9 months. So when he set the world record in the 200, if I'm not mistaken. So you can still keep getting faster. It really just depends on how your training is and how the longevity is. So let's look at her progression in the 100. Obviously, what I was informed that she went on the 400 track because she may have suffered an injury or something was happening. So she went more so for the 400, which I think might have helped her in the 100. As we see, 400 runners are coming down, and they kicking some booty in the 100 to the short sprinters, the ones that specialize in. And it could be the slight amount of speed endurance or that you need to keep your form at the last 20 or so meters in that race. It's like a very small amount of speed endurance because a 60, that's just all of your speed right there, right? But in the 100, you can't just run that 100% all out the entire way. There's a certain amount, and then we start decelerating. But in this one, maybe that strength in the 400 helps these athletes out to keep their form or whatever it is helping them. Whatever it is helping them. Usain Bolt came down from doing 400s. Obviously, he would probably have called himself a 100 athlete, but going up to that, he's a sprinter overall, right? So here we go, the progression. 11:24. Now, people were asking me, was Shericka Jackson doing 100s already. As you see, back in 2017, they were trying to start an argument with me and derail my live stream the other day. I said, look it up yourself. I had already been keeping track of her before. She was on relays. She had shown that she was given a sign that she might do something in the 100. As you can see, earlier this year, I did make a video on Shericka Jackson. Let me see if I should link that here. 20 minutes in. Here she is. Her progression isn't going necessarily smooth, though. I would not say that even. Because at 11:30, that really shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have gone up. It should have went down. But then she made a huge breakthrough this year. Multiple times. If you look at her results. And she did the 10.76. Whether it was against the headwind, which was good for a faster time. Or it was with a tailwind, right? It doesn't matter because both of those are legal. But this was obviously a better performance because she was against the headwind right here. But she's done 10.79, 10.76, 10.76, 10.77, 10.82. So she's pretty darn consistent. Now she's breaking down toward the end of the season. Don't let that fool you. This is about the world record, and can somebody get it? Can Shericka Jackson get this one? Well, I don't think she's going to get it, even if she has the ability, okay? Even if she has the ability to do this, which I don't think that her start is going to lend her to get a 10.49 or faster. I don't think so. But let's just give her the ability overall to say she can do that. Because I can see her going 10.6. Yeah, I can see her going 10.6 because that's fixing up something in another part of the race. And because she's run against the headwind, I'm like, you know what? Okay, I can see that. I can give that now. I've seen so many times now 10.6 this season. It's crazy. But I don't think that she has the start to do that. And then two, if we gave her that right there, I think somebody else may get it and push it down, right? Now, this is assuming we're talking about the 10.49. If she's the one that gets it in the order first, I don't think a start does. But that's me giving her a start and then saying somebody else broke it. Let's go to Sha'Carri Richardson, right? Let's go over to Sha'Carri Richardson. I know people are saying, she's a fraud. My panties are hurting. That's what some of y'all are going in the comment section. Some of y'all are coming here so mad, so butthurt. Y'all making up all types of stuff. Like literally making it up. It is really just crazy. Y'all coming at her in all types of ways. It's unnecessary. I'm like, look, don't start doing that. I understand she's been inflammatory and everything. But if we talk about athletic performances and it ain't the roast talking about her talking about somebody else, then look, it's unnecessary. We ain't starting. I don't want to start anything. I finish it up, but I'm not starting anything, right? So here, looking at her progression in the 100, she seems to go up and down, right? Because she goes from 1134, 1128, 1153, 1075. Now, 1075, funny enough, it still has an asterisk mark by that, which I'm confused. I'm like, can they ratify this already? Like, when y'all gonna ratify this? Ratify the record. What is going on, right? Ratify the record. This is a long time. Usually other ones, even performances that have happened after hers, have been ratified. So I'm just wondering, like, what is Texas doing? Why didn't they freaking send in all the data? I'm like, ratify this so it can stop having an asterisk mark next to it. And then the other old U20 100 record could just be off, right? I would like to see that. So that's what I find very interesting. Why do they have that still there? But hey, look, maybe something comes out in the future and people be like, I was right. See, I told you. But anyway, if and when that happens, you weren't right. You just happen to be a broken clock. So 1075, this was the shutdown year. So, and then a 1072. Now, I will say this. I will give her this just the same way as I did Shericka Jackson. So if you don't feel the same about what I said about Shericka Jackson, then that is your bias about to be exposed. I said Shericka Jackson ran against a headwind, so her performance would have actually been faster, the same way as I'm about to say that her slowing down in that wind illegal mark of that 1064, or maybe it was a 1063. I think it got adjusted to 1064. That wind illegal mark that she slowed down in, if you adjusted it to a 2.0, okay, 2.0, she still would have broken 10.7, right? Same way as I given some a little bit of grace about Blessing Okabare if you adjusted it. I'm adjusting those so that I can see where their ability is. Now, given she needs to have a 2.0 win in order to do that, as we can see, right? Or maybe she needs to have one of those. Still, if she gets one of those things, will she be able to break the world record based on where her progression and everything is going right now? This is going to be a question mark because her start is so atrocious. It is so bad. That is why she's going to need a high win behind her. Her start is atrocious, and I can't see her. Yeah, sure, she might be able to chase people down and potentially win races, right? Because she could run in the 10.7. She's shown it multiple times. Can she do it under a pressured situation, which I told y'all earlier this year? I don't know. I don't think so at this point in time. Because if it's a pressure situation and you got Fraser-Pryce or Elaine Thompson-Herah jumping out of the blocks on you, and then Thompson-Herah getting that extreme acceleration, assuming that's one of her better days, because we can't assume they always have a perfect race every time they come out. Well, I don't know if she can handle the pressure of, oh, they're this far ahead of me, and I'm trying to claw them back, and I don't see them coming back. That's when she has to focus on her own race and then really go out. But there you go. So here we go. Can she break the world record? At this current point in time, I don't see her having the ability to break the record. No. I don't see her having the ability to break the record. Let's move on to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Saludame. Now, here we go. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She's getting faster and faster. Now, I wonder if she can keep her form to next season. This is going to be very, 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 very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, I understand. I think she wanted to retire on top. Had this been the Olympic year and she got the gold medal, or there was not a shutdown and she got the gold medal, I am almost certain that she would have retired. I am almost 100% certain that she would have retired. She would have gone up to the World Championships, which would have been this year. And then whatever she got a gold or not or whatever, she got the Olympic gold. She would have had 3 Olympic gold medals. And I think she might have been satisfied from that, right? She might have been satisfied from that. But on account of that she's not, she's considering some other things. So let's look at her progression here, as we've done everybody else. Okay. She's going. Okay, so look, even in her early years, you see where she's pretty much hit a wall right here. She's done 3 seasons in a row where she's at the 11.7s. She's hitting a wall. Then she has a little bit faster in a breakthrough. Then you get the 10.78 at Beijing. Then she comes in Berlin, 10.73, right? Then it's a 10.95 and off year. So then she's a 10.7, 10.71, off year, 10.74, right? So on and so forth. She kind of does the same thing where she's kind of hitting that wall again and then breakthrough. Maybe she hits another wall and then she has another season where she's in 10.6. It depends on if she keeps running till Paris. That's the big question mark, and if she can keep the form. Because regardless, it's going to be more difficult. Justin Gatlin is running against that himself, right? Usain Bolt was running against it himself, although his pounding on his body was a little bit different, right? I'm sure that if he would have trained through another year after the year he retired in London, I think he probably could have gotten faster. I don't doubt that he couldn't have come back faster, at least in the 200. Maybe not the 100, but at least in the 200, we got to give him that. Now, coming here, man, this is going to be hard because I think she has the ability to break the world record, and people have disagreed with me on that one. But I think she has shown us that she has the ability to run very quickly. Had she leaned, it would have been a 10.59, maybe 10.58, just depends on her timing of lean, right? And then I think it would have been 10.59 at the very least. But This is going to be a hard one. I think she has the ability to get the world record. And I want to say that, yes, she's one of the people that can break the world record. So we on the world record watch with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I think we're on the world record watch with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce here. I got to just give it to her with the ability. Now, the thing is, with her age, that is the biggest question of what I am concerned with. Because at her age, she can have an ability to more easily get injured, more easily fall apart and whatnot. And I don't know. And then she might not be as consistent at a certain point, no matter what she wants to do. But so far, she's doing pretty good this season. She went from her PR of 10-7 way back in 2012, and she's coming back with a new PR. She had already, after she had a baby, come back here and 1071, right? Which is very, very good, right? Near her PR. So she's done her goal that she wanted to do, which was running the 10-6s. That's what she said her goal was for a long time. I think she wanted to do that back in what? Before the Rio Olympics. She said her goal was to get to 10-6s. And I think she has shown us the 1071 and 1074. She has wanted to get in that 10-6, and she's got it this year. So I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce honestly has the ability to do it. Will she do it? That's the biggest question mark. All of them are, will they do it? But I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has a pretty decent chance of getting it. Now let's look at Elaine Thompson-Herah. All right, here comes Herah. So 29 years old. So that gives her a little bit more time to continue getting faster. Let's look at her progression in the 100. Here's the asterisk mark with her in a second. But as we can see, she went from 11.8. Then she's had gone the reverse direction. That's not good. 11.41, 11.17, then 11.84. So people were saying back here that she could beat Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce or something. I would have argued against that looking at it here, because I'm like, well, you know, Elaine Thompson-Herah having that's like hyping up anybody that's particularly young and saying, yeah, they can beat this other person. They're faster. They got a better ability because of that. And then getting angry at them when they don't perform. People are doing that with Briana Williams. You know, she's got the national U20 record at the respective events in the 1 and the 2 for Jamaica. And people are saying she's slow. That's crazy. And I'm like, do you know she's faster than Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Veronica Campbell-Brown, Adi? Like, she's faster than all of the other greats from Jamaica, but now somehow she's slow. Okay. I guess it's the trend of the times, though, because the other nations are showing fast people and everything, too. It doesn't matter if you got a relay medal right now. It doesn't matter if the other people are unbeatable by other nations. And so without one of them being there, she would have made the team. It doesn't matter. She's slow. Okay, I heard you guys. She's slow. She's not fast enough. She should change coaches. I got it. All right. Dang. But anyway, get back on topic here. Now, 10-7 flat. 10-7-1. I think anything that Elaine Thompson-Herah can run, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce can run. In all honesty. Unless she runs like a 10:45 or something like that. I don't think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce can run under 10:45. I don't see that. But maybe she could. But I think everything up until just under the world record, about a 10th or two, a 100th or two under the world record. I think that's why I see Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce max ability at 10:47. That's where I see her at. In my mind, maybe you getting her a 2.0 tailwind or something with that. It really don't matter. That's where I see her at, maxing out, topping out. If she doesn't get something like that, then I can see her topping out at a 10:52, 10:54, maybe 10:55, right? And with Elaine Thompson-Herah, the problem that we got to deal with is that she's injury prone. She's dealing with an Achilles injury. And I can tell you personally, an Achilles injury is nothing to mess with, because I can feel it. I'm dealing with that stuff now, right? But it is something that is manageable. It's something that you can get around, right? and it's something that's manageable that you can actually still compete with. So that doesn't mean that she can't run fast times with an Achilles problem. We saw her dealing with an Achilles problem and still running this 1071, right? She still was able to run this 1073, right? So whether she can win a championship and it flares up and gets aggravated because of the rounds is a separate, completely separate topic than if she can break the world record. And I think she can break the world record. She's been close to it this year, 1054. Right? The only woman to run a 10.5 with a legal wind. Okay? FloJo did it with a non-legal wind. It was like a plus 0.3 or something, or 3.4 or something like that. Whatever it wasn't a legal wind. Ironically, I think it was the same time as this one. Now, she's the only woman that's recorded a 10.5. Sure, FloJo skipped it and went there. And like I said, whether you think it's legal or not, everybody is chasing FloJo's records, right? You can't argue against her 200. Her 200 was wind legal. And her 200 time kind of corroborates with her 100 time. Actually, when you put them together, they kind of look about a similar performance. You might argue with somebody that could run a 10.5 should be able to run her time in the 200, right? And translate over to that. Who knows? But the time right there, it corroborated with it. So I'm going to just take it as it is, even though I put an asterisk mark myself because of the 200. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Her 200 is legit. So her 100 is more than likely a good time. Now, we don't know what the win reading was. It could have been a plus 1.5 for all we know instead of 0, because that's a completely different scenario, right? That's showing that she needed wind to do that, right? And then we can adjust it to 0, like the Captain 0 adjusters that come in the comment section. No shade on all of y'all though. But here we go, 1054. I think that she could run the world record, maybe 1045 or something like that. Her top end speed. Nobody should be like, Richardson's top end speed should be able to catch Elaine Thompson-Herah. Have you seen that Elaine Thompson-Herah has the fastest top end speed in history? Right. So I think Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce are the two most likely to break the world record on this world record watch right here. Okay? That's who I'm going to give it to with this one. I think that if Shericka Jackson gets a better, start and fix some other things, she has the ability to run close to the world record. I can't see it right now. Briana Williams, she's a little bit too far out for me to give it to her. But since people were saying that she has the ability to break the world record, that's why she is in the topic and in this thumbnail. Sha'Carri Richardson. I think that if she could fix her start, she could get the world record. Yes, I've seen that on I've seen that in her ability, that if she can fix her start, but that's not something that happens overnight. That is literally going to have to take some years to work on. Now, whether she could do it or not, that's a different subject. But her start, I like as she is now, but just getting faster in the future. Running all the way through, getting win legal times. I can't see her breaking the world record. No, I think it's darn near impossible with her horrible starts, because you're running against somebody that had a better start than you in the past. So that means your top end speed has to be faster than the fastest top end speed recorded. As we saw, Elaine Thompson-Herah has the fastest top end speed that's ever been recorded, and they were in the same race, right? The fastest top end speed ever was Elaine Thompson-Herah, and she has a better start and didn't break the world record, right? That means at the very least, FloJo's something in between, like her start must have been better than Elaine Thompson-Herah. She must have had a better, either whether it was the acceleration phase or the drive phase, right? Something else was better, because if her top end speed was better than FloJo, she did a superior maybe first half of her race than Elaine Thompson-Herah. So if you can't even catch up to somebody like that, right? And not like that, like really like in a negative way. You can't catch up to somebody like Elaine Thompson-Herah, 2-time double-double at the Olympics, and she's running fast times, then I can't see Richardson really doing it. Now, if she gets a better start with her acceleration and her start really improves, right, then sure. If Elaine Thompson-Herah can get just one Fraser-Pryce type start, just one, and she has a good race where she has that acceleration, world record's done. It's done, and it's over. And that can happen. Now that could be a rarity to have one of those more perfect starts. Because even at the Olympics, her start was more like she was conserving herself. Even her own coach said, yeah, her start, she looked like she was holding back. And it looked like it to me. It looked like she was just trying to, this was very interesting. It looked like if this was a 200-meter race and you knew that somebody was real good and you're just tracking them in the 200, it looked like Thompson-Herah was tracking Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and trying to time her move somewhere in the middle of that race. It wasn't like she just took out in that 100 and whatever. And I'm like, I didn't know if that was possible to do in the 100, but according to her coach, which sees her all the time, right? And which sees, and what I saw from seeing so many of her races, I now know it's possible to, I would love to interview her to ask her this question, to kind of somewhat hold back or have a careful start to track somebody else and to try to time a move in the middle of a 100. I guess if you could do it in distance races, you could do it in the 200, or you could definitely do it in the 400. You can do it in the 100. I guess that's what can happen. Now, the 60, you can't do that. I don't think you could do that in the 60. It's just too short. That's just your all-out speed right there. What do you guys think? We've been on this for 41 minutes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below whether you agree, disagree, whether you think I'm a complete and utter fool, right? Because I know some of y'all going to say that anyway. Y'all come up on this thing. You get your panties in a bunch. You complain and you do all types of stuff. But, hey, it is what it is. Here's the ice for you. Here's the ice. Y'all must get headaches every time I upload a video. But anyway, you've been watching a Head and Shoulders ATR production. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe. Share, because that's the most important thing. Share, because that's how we grow this channel. And comment, right? And don't forget, I like to thank everybody that supports the channel via Cash App, the subscriber on Patreon, and via PayPal. Sometimes I forget to shout out all the people, but at this point, at the end, here's the roll the credits. I like to shout out to everybody that comes out, whether it's Super Chats too, and y'all support this channel. Thank you. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.